Goldman Sachs estimated Mexico's 2024 auto-related exports to the U.S. at $181 billion. Scheinbaum said the White House has identified one significant category where Mexico could see the tariff rate fall in exchange for cooperation on stemming illegal immigration to the U.S. and fentanyl trafficking. The category covers non-automotive goods that don't comply with the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. Those tariffs could be reduced from 25% to 12% under certain conditions, the White House said in an April 2 fact sheet. Some analysts are skeptical of how much leverage Mexico can bring to tariff negotiations with the Trump administration, given the Mexican economy's reliance on exports to the U.S. About 40% of the Mexican economy is thoroughly dependent on the United States, said Tony Payan, director of the Center for U.S. and Mexico at Rice University. I think Mexico is probably at the top of the most vulnerable countries. Mexico's cooperation on fighting illegal immigration to the U.S. and fentanyl trafficking is unlikely to sway Trump much, Payan said. Trump's April 2 round of tariffs against friend and foe shows that his goals are primarily economic. The real reason behind the tariffs, if I understand Trump's economic plan, is to force the repatriation of manufacturing to the United States, Payan said. These conversations and discussions with Mexico mean absolutely nothing. Title: Dealers advertise no tariff vehicles ahead of price increases. Content: Tariff-free is some dealers' latest sales pitch before levies announced by the Trump administration increase prices of many vehicles and parts. That's something that's going to bear a lot of fruit for dealers who are forward-thinking, he said. From direct mail to over-the-top streaming, everybody's really grasping on how to communicate this message out to everyone right now, both internal and external. Dealers are using marketing campaigns, tools at signing, and a focus on service and parts to prepare for price and inventory impacts from the tariffs that could increase vehicle prices by as much as 12%, according to Morgan Stanley. Read more, live updates on tariff news and impacts. Interactive map, auto manufacturing sites in Canada, the US, and Mexico. They are analyzing the vehicles they have on the lot and the ones that are in transit to determine what vehicles are going to be affected by tariffs, which ones are not, and putting together a plan now for the next 90 days before we see this price increase on ground at the store. Kilway said. Dealers are monitoring new vehicle inventory and acquiring more used vehicles to keep affordable options available. The roughly 2 to 3 month supply of pre-tariff vehicles on lots is highly valuable to customers, said Jennifer Morand, president of the Chicago Automobile Trade Association. Some dealers are actually already using this to their advantage, to promote sales and drive momentum to their lot, she said. As dealers prepare for declines in inventory, they want to help customers keep costs down and take advantage of pre-tariff stock for parts. Components including steering wheels, windshields, seats, batteries, and insulated wires will be subjected to a 25% tariff no later than May 3, so scheduling preventative maintenance now will help drivers save money and hold on to their pre-tariff vehicles longer. Many of my dealers are actually rolling out targeted service campaign messages as well to encourage preventative maintenance, Morin said. In general, the panelists stressed a need for preparation and remembering the lessons of the pandemic. Coronavirus supply chain issues reduced access to parts for basic maintenance. Customers had hard questions about affordability. Uncertainty governed the dealers' days. What are we doing as dealers and starting putting a plan together for shortages now? Kilway said. Because that's going to be here before we know it. Title: Lincoln President Diane Craig retiring. Successor worked at GM, Rivian. Content: Diane Craig, who helped craft Lincoln's new digital experience, whittled its retail network to a more manageable size and steered the luxury brand to its first annual U.S. sales gain in 5 years, will retire at the end of April. Joaquin Nuno Whalen, a former Rivian and General Motors employee who joined Ford Motor Company in 2024 as Vehicle Program Director for full-size utilities, including the Lincoln Navigator and Ford Expedition, will succeed Craig, Lincoln said April 4. Nuno Whalen will report to Ford CMO Lisa Matarazzo and Andrew Frick, the president of Ford Blue and Model E. Under her tenure, Lincoln consolidated its dealer network by roughly 200 stores over the past 2 years to boost throughput and focus on Lincoln-exclusive showrooms. Diane's leadership of Lincoln has been exceptional, with solid profits and sales, Ford CEO Jim Farley said in a statement. Throughout her distinguished career, Diane's outstanding results can be linked to positive leadership, working relationships, and especially her love and respect for our dealer partners. Craig has been at Ford for 38 years. Prior to her role at Lincoln, she headed Ford's International Markets Group, Ford of Canada and Ford Direct, in addition to a number of other sales and marketing roles. Throughout her tenure at Ford, Craig developed strong relationships with dealers, which helped ease the consolidation process at Lincoln. Dealer council leaders she's worked with all have said she helped improve communication. I am deeply grateful for the incredible journey and wealth of experiences gained during my career with Ford, Craig, 61, said in a statement. Starting at Lincoln and concluding my career leading the revitalization of the global Lincoln business has truly been an honor. Over the years, it has been a privilege to work around the world with talented teams of amazing people and having the opportunity of a lifetime to forge wonderful partnerships and friendships with our Ford and Lincoln dealers. Nuno Whalen will take over a brand that's trying for its first multi-year streak of U.S. sales increases in nearly a decade, although first quarter deliveries fell 4.7%. Lincoln also faces questions about the future of the Nautilus, which is imported from China and thus subject to steep tariffs President Donald Trump imposed April 3. Prior to joining Ford, Nuno Whalen was Senior Vehicle Line Director for new programs at Rivian. He also held several leadership roles over more than 20 years at GM, where he helped develop premium vehicle lines, Ford said. With Joaquin's deep product knowledge and his experience in luxury vehicle development, he will play a critical role in guiding the evolution of the Lincoln brand and its next-generation global product portfolio and connected experiences, Matarazzo said in a statement. Lincoln is at an exciting moment in its revitalization, and he will bring a fresh and unique perspective to our luxury brand. Title: Ineos Automotive hikes U.S. prices up to 11%. Content: Ineos Automotive, dependent on a single France factory for vehicle output, will raise prices for U.S.-bound vehicles as the small-volume brand combats new tariffs in its largest single market. Ineos said prices for the Grenadier SUV will now start at $80,455, up 4.9%. Prices for the Quartermaster pickup, already subject to the 25% known as the chicken tax, will now start at $94,500, up 11%. Prices include shipping. Grenadier and Quartermaster orders placed before April 3 will not be subject to the price hike